Eric Rohmer, the pioneer of the French New Wave. He was about 10 years older than his peers of the time, who we all know, Truffaut, Godard. He was a professor of philosophy before he started making films. He was a little bit like the Robert Altman of the New Hollywood back in the 70s. New Hollywood being Scorsese, Coppola, Arthur Penn, Mike Nichols, so on and so forth. So Rohmer started to make movies at the same time as Truffaut and Godard, except he was 10 years older. Therefore, there was maturity to his work that was undeniable and that his peers really, really respected. So he's made 60 movies, at the very least. And it was kind of the same film over and over again, but every time studying facets of human nature that we hadn't seen before. I'm going to start with 4 of his work. The 4 you should start with. I'm going to go through them with you. And then if you love that, and if you love his style, then you can go ahead and watch all of them because they're all really, really good. So because there's so many of his films, I would actually start with his masterpiece, My Night at Maud's. This is my favorite of his. Black and white, one of the few he did in black and white. Well, he did a lot of black and white short films, but this is one of the few feature films that he did in black and white. And this is Ma Nuit chez Maud in French, just some of the greatest work of philosophy and seduction that I've ever seen. It's a man and a woman in a room who are going to discuss philosophy and history and world sociology while the sexual tension between them is rising. Incredible work. Incredible work. Then I would go with Claire's Knee, which is another small masterpiece, very controversial. An older man falls in love with a younger woman, a much younger woman. Obviously, this is French. A really fascinating look into the perversion of a man. Then we have The Collectioner, La Collectionneuse. Summertime, young love, controversial as well, but then again, this takes its time to depict adolescent needs from the perspective of a woman in a very interesting way. And then I would go with Love in the Afternoon. This is about a man who daydreams about other women than his wife. They're only dreams though, and he goes on this insane psychological spiral, which is again a really fascinating look into the psyche of these type of people. So there you go. These are the 4 films I would start with for Eric Rohmer. And if you love his style, which is a very slow, meditative, philosophical style, I would then go and pursue films like The Green Ray, or Pauline at the Beach, or The Winter's Tale, or Summer's Tale. He's made so many films, and they all talk about kind of the same thing. But they're always a really good meditative time, great dialogue, very natural dialogue. It's a real change from what we're used to in terms of plot-driven films. This is plotless. This is completely character-driven.